more and more for Kim Il-sung, President of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, as the days go by. The Korean people recollect in tears the tireless work of President Kim Il-sung, who traveled the whole country all his life to bring happiness to the people until he was well over 80 years of age. The president visited everywhere the people were living, even in the rain and snow. The Korean people are living still thinking as if the president would come to their workplaces and embrace them with affection just as he had done in his lifetime. The president was the benevolent father of the people. All his life did he share the sweet and bitter with the people as well as kindred feelings with them. He spent 1994, the last year of his great career of leadership, among the people as had done all his previous years. The year 1994 of the Great Korea. On the morning of every New Year Day, President Kim Il-sung used to show the Korean people the way to fresh victory. Did the people ever think that a New Year address in 1994 would be the last one?
친애하는 동지들, 동포 형제 자매들, 오늘 우리는 영웅적인 투쟁과 유언으로 빛나는 1993년을 보내고 신심과 낙관에 넘쳐 새해 1994년을 맞이합니다.
In that New Year address, the President set the tasks for socialist construction, national reunification, and world independence.
전체 인민이 땅과 수령의 도리에 이심단결되고 자력갱생 강고 분투의 혁명정신을 높이 발휘하여 힘차게 싸워나갈 때 우리는 그 어떤 시련에 부닥쳐도 우리식 사회주의를 옹호보수하고 끝없이 빛내어 나갈 수 있으며 주체의 사회주의 위협을 승리적으로 완성해 나갈 수 있습니다.
He didn't take rest even on the day of New Year celebration. He met the representatives of the political parties and public organizations and gave them very important instructions for national reunification. The President took great pains to achieve national reunification as soon as possible and see the nation's wish come true. He called in officials from the economic sector and unsparingly spent his time and energy teaching them in detail how to carry out the party's revolutionary economic strategy. Concerned seriously about agricultural work from the beginning of the year, the President convened a National Agricultural Conference in February on occasion of the 30th anniversary of the publication of the thesis on the socialist rural question and guided the conference in person. The conference was attended by the officials from the agricultural sector whom the President had trained while working among farmers, discussing farm work with them on the snow-covered footpaths of the fields at the edges of terraced non-paddy fields in the rain. Looking up at the President, who used to walk along footpaths in the fields in all seasons without taking rest, even on festive days, people said, "Fatherly leader, please don't come out to the field anymore. Leader, please take rest at least on the festive day." What a long distance it traveled to give field guidance to farms throughout the country. How great pains it took for the past 30 years to hasten the realization of the thesis after its publication. The farmers of the whole country are living in the affectionate embrace of the benevolent President, just as they did when they saw him on their farms. The farmers who had to do their farm work in dire poverty in the past and their children have now become masters of the rural community thanks to the President's benevolence and now stand in this place of honor. President Kim Il-sung was on a long journey of field guidance, eating a green ear of maize as a meal. It was also President Kim Il-sung who trod footpaths between rice fields in the reclaimed tidal flats in the cold rain. That was why the people wanted the President to take comfortable rest at least one day, but he continued with energetic leadership for the farmers. The historic victory of the thesis on the socialist rural question was a jubilant event for the Korean people. President Kim Il-sung and Chairman Kim Jong-il took measures to increase the supply of farming materials and machinery. Thanks to those measures, comprehensive mechanization and extensive use of chemicals are being effected on all farms in Korea. The 7th session of the 9th Supreme People's Assembly of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea was held in the presence of President Kim Il-sung and Chairman Kim Jong-il. How many sessions of it have been held since its first session? The deputies from workers, peasants, and other ordinary people who had been exploited in the past held the first session in the presence of President Kim Il-sung on its platform. At each stage of the development of the revolution, the President put forward a magnificent plan for the prosperity of the country and the happiness of the people. Large numbers of artists from many countries and overseas compatriots came to Pyongyang also in April 1994 to offer songs of praise to President Kim Il-sung, the renowned and the greatest of great men. The artists who participated in the first April Spring Friendship Art Festival have now sung the 12th song of praise to the President on behalf of everyone. Taking time off his tight schedule, the President used to see performances at each of the art festivals. The artists from many parts of the world sang and danced, praising President Kim Il-sung as the son of the age of independence. Admiring and welcoming the overseas compatriots who live honorably with the pride of the Korean nation in foreign lands, the President led them warmly. The overseas Koreans always yearned for President Kim Il-sung and ardently wished to remain standing by his side. The compatriots from overseas expressed their thanks to the President by saying, "Respected President, on this visit to the homeland, we have felt many things and gained great strength. We believe that the greatest blessing in this world is the blessing of having a good leader. People around the world highly regard Korea as a powerful country standing firm in confrontation with the United States, because she is under the leadership of President Kim Il-sung and Chairman Kim Jong-il, who are superior in thoughts, highest in the art of leadership, and number one in benevolence. overseas compatriots and other people say that today's world is the world of President Kim Il-sung and Chairman Kim Jong-il. President Kim Il-sung, who founded the Korean People's Army and led it to victory, was also among the officers and men of the People's Army on the Army Day in 1994. The president always trusted and loved the soldiers and took meticulous care of them. In 1994 too, the president met many revolutionary fighters. Without forgetting Son Won-tae, with whom he became associated in the 1920s, the president helped him and led him to live honorably in a foreign land. The The president, with a novel sense of revolutionary obligation, bestowed ceaseless benevolence on Hu Jianye, with whom he had shared life and death in the fight against Japanese imperialism. Half a century passed since the war against the Japanese, but the president took parental care of the family of Zhang Weihua, his Chinese comrade in the revolution, and his novel sense of obligation will be long remembered. The president met Liang Guidongye with warm affection, the daughter of an anti-Japanese revolutionary martyr. He had parted from her in 1936. When the president hugged her, saying in recollection that her father had fought well as a guerrilla commander, she sobbed, calling the president "Father, Father." The president named an overseas compatriot, Chung Il-sim, taking warm care of her and telling her to come to homeland to take a good rest whenever she wanted. Chung Il-sim and the company are choked with a feeling of gratitude to him. President Kim Il-sung was such a kind, meticulous, and benevolent father. Han Duck-soo, chairman of the Central Standing Committee of the General Association of Korean Residents in Japan, is granted an audience by the president. He says, "President, I should have come to see you to express my gratitude to you before you have called on me. I am very sorry." In spite of the difficult situation, Chairman Kim Jong-il inquires after me almost every day. I can't find enough words to express my thanks to him. Thanks to the loving care and consideration of you, President and Chairman Kim Jong-il, I have recovered from infirmity and now can work by myself on the soil of the homeland like this. Thank you indeed. In consideration of the musical talent and merit of an overseas compatriot, the president got a music hall constructed in his homeland, calling it Yun Il-sung Music Hall after his name and greatly encouraging his patriotic activities. A woman journalist, Moon Myung-jar, a compatriot living in the United States, with an irresistible feeling of reverence for President Kim Il-sung with novel personality and high virtue, pledges to carry out righteous journalist activities with the conscience of the Korean nation. In order to increase the ranks of supporters and sympathizers for the Korean Revolution and to bring independence to the world, The president carried out Sicily's diplomatic activities towards the end of his career in 1994. President Kim Il-sung met a large number of visitors from many countries on the 5 continents of the world. During his lifetime, since the liberation of the country, he met and worked with 120 heads of state on 1,982 occasions in all, 206 party leaders on 2,236 occasions in all, 76 heads of government on 833 occasions in all, and more than 70,000 foreign visitors from 136 countries. President Kim Il-sung of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea was the great leader and veteran statesman recognized by the world. It would be impossible to tell all the praises expressed about the president's great career by the foreign visitors who had met him and received instructions from him in 1994 alone. They said, President Kim Il-sung's career was a glorious career which authored a Juche idea, pioneered a new age of independence, and brought about world peace and the victory of the cause of independence by great leadership. President Kim Il-sung's career was a brilliant career of a great leader who devoted himself to building a new world of peace and freedom, a world free from domination, subjugation, and exploitation, to the strengthening and development of the non-alignment and the international revolutionary movement, and thus made immortal achievements. The president was the greatest of great men, whose uncommon personality, outstanding intelligence, and boundless tolerance moved and fascinated every visitor. Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter and other persons who had hostile feelings for a long time admired the benevolent personality, boundless tolerance, and genius of President Kim Il-sung and highly respected him. The president, who was a great thinker and great statesman, worked hard every day for the future of the Korean people and humanity, giving energetic leadership all his life. In June 1994 alone, the President conducted energetic diplomatic activities on 18 occasions. The President had repeated discussions with the officials about the country's economic work and the people's living, and gave them important instructions to provide the Korean people with happiness. On unforgettable July the 5th and the 6th, 1994, the President convened a consultative meeting of the senior officials of the economic sector. Saying that we are building socialism stoutly in spite of the imperialists' atrocious maneuvers to isolate and stifle us, the President set the tasks that will serve as guideline to the development of the national economy.
정부들이 당의 결정이 아닌가? 농사제일주의, 경공업제일주의, 무역제일주의, 세 가지 제일주의인데 화학비료를 남화학하고 흔화화학을 생산 정상화하도록 만들어. 비료만 생산 정상화하라. 금년에 비난론 계획준 대로 하고 명내는 5만 톤 만부할 거려야 돼. 그 다음에 시멘트를 우리가 정상화해야 돼. 시멘트가 1200만 톤이란 말이야. 시멘트를. 나 시멘트를 만부화 역시 걸려는 거라. 그리고 우리가 배무일 많이 해야 돼. 배무일 내가 그전에 말한 것은 백척을 맹길라. 그 다음에는 전기를 앞서야 돼. 내가 너마다 말하지만 전력, 철도 이거는 어떤관이 인민경제의 선행관이라고. 금속 문제를 마저 해결해야 되겠어. 금속을 지금 어떤간에 우리가 구체적 대책을 세워야 된다. 이 전기하고 금속만 풀면 우리나라에서는 잘 살 수 있다. 우리가. 내가 이번에 카터하고 회담할 때 유엔에서 뭐 제재하겠다 뭐 하겠다 하는데 하려면 해라. 이때까지 우리는 제재 받고 살았지 제재 안 받고 산 적이 없다. 다 제재한다 우리를. 일본 놈도 제재하지 당연히 다 제재하지. 우리 제재 받고 살았다. 제재 받고도 이만큼 살아나가는데 제재하려면 더 해라. 우리 못 살 거 뭐인가. 그랬더니 제재 취소하겠다. 그래. 취소해도 좋고 안 해도 좋고 나도 마찬가지다. 못 사는 거 봐라. 우리 더 잘 살다.
The very important instructions given by the President at that time became his last precious instructions, which the Korean people must bear in mind and carry out. Who could ever think that the instructions would be the last instructions given to the Korean people by the President, who had dedicated all his life to the good of the people. President Kim Il-sung thus worked hard for the prosperity of the country and the bright future of mankind till the moment his heart ceased beating. The president's career was indeed a great career which dedicated its all to the happiness of the people. The Korean people are loyally supporting the leadership of Chairman Kim Jong-il to implement President Kim Il-sung's instructions. The great leader, Comrade Kim Il-sung, will always be with us. President Kim Il-sung's great career, which is immortal in the people's minds, will be long remembered.